Throughout the years, have you spent any time in downtown Darlington at restaurants, or do you have a story you could tell?
Um, yeah, for sure. Spent a lot of time down here, and it's growing too, right? But it didn't used to have so much going on around the surrounding area. So there's always a couple places we would go to downtown. And the thing I was thinking about when I was driving up here today or down here today was actually during COVID. You guys remember, like, this was the only track we could race at. It felt like we were racing here every week, and I know we didn't, but I think we raced here 3 times. That first year. And just driving down here feeling like, I was just here a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And but it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot during that time because you just got a lot of repetitions back to back. So that was a weird time in our sport, but also kind of cool too because we got to race here a few extra times.
Michael, you've won 2 of the crown jewels in
Yeah.
NASCAR, and here you are aside of another crown jewel that would be prestigious to get. How close are you to getting that?
Well, Darlington's a tough place. I mean, I wouldn't say close because I don't feel like I've been, in the top 3 in the closing laps. But I think my best finish here is 6th. Have a couple top 10s, but I feel like it's just about putting yourself in that opportunity and getting everything right. There's been a couple of these races where we've seen those last couple restarts. One thing that I'm always reminded of is Regan Smith winning here. Staying out, no tires, holding on to it. You just got to keep fighting, got to keep putting yourself in position. And but it is a crown jewel, like you said, that every driver wants to have and wants to add to the list. And I don't know how many guys have won all the crown jewels in our sport, but it would be great to add to it.
Michael, Spire Motorsports has really just been on fire here lately, really making the news, really riding in the top 5, top 10. Man, how do you think y'all will perform come Labor Day weekend here at Darlington Raceway?
Well, there's still a lot of time between here and then, but we've had good speed, and we've had good speed this year, and it's still a process. We're evolving and getting better, but the competition does the same, right? And you're only 1 week away from being really good, and 1 week away from not being so good. But I feel like right now our trajectory is still on an upward climb, and the speed that we brought, especially at the bigger tracks, 1.5-mile tracks and whatnot. It gives me confidence coming here that we'll be able to have a good run.
How does Darlington suit your style?
I love Darlington. I like having to be precise, and that's why I like road courses, and that's kind of my background. And Darlington's like that. It's not like a road course, but it requires precision. I mean, because you're running right up against the fence. The tires fall off. Not that you're conserving your equipment, but you're always balancing that risk versus reward. And so I enjoy the challenge of that, of going out there and getting right close to the edge without overstepping it. And if you get through a full night here, you feel like you really accomplished something because you're so close so many times. You have these moments throughout the race all the time. And you feel like you get away with 20 of them or 30 of them, but it only takes one that you don't get away with and get yourself in trouble. So I enjoy that challenge of it for sure.
Talk about how slick getting the pit road is here. I mean, it's one of the most difficult on the circuit of getting to pit road during green flag stops.
It's really challenging just because of the shape of the track. You go down into turn 3, but pit road's way, way, way down here, and it's on the flat, and you're carrying a lot of speed. And there's a couple different ways you can do it. You see some guys kind of cheat the flat and just go straight to the bottom there, and some guys will run into turn 3, kind of come up the track a little bit, and then shoot down. But that transition is really treacherous. And anytime here when you make laps on the tires, do they wear out? I mean, it doesn't matter. And you're always making those pit stops after, end of a long run. And so you're already slipping, sliding around, and then you transition onto that pit road. And it's pretty sharp as well. Like, it keeps curving around. So you're braking and turning at the same time, which our cars don't want to do. They only want to do one or the other. And so it's definitely something that is treacherous. It's something that we actually study and think about, like where our brake marker is and how old your tires are and what you have to do with the brake bias, because you push it hard right to the limit, and it's really easy to make a mistake.